He shaped the sound of a generation, yet rarely stood in the spotlight. While others took centre stage, Benny Andersson built the soul of a band that would define pop music for decades. From silent studio rooms to international arenas, Benny witnessed the rise, unravelling and eventual rebirth of one of the most iconic musical ensembles in history. His story, only now being told, is far from glittering lights and sequins. It's about exhaustion, regret, fractured love, and the haunting silence that followed every standing ovation. Benny's truth is intimate, raw, and revealing, showing the hidden cost of brilliance, foundations of a musical mind. Before ABBA's fame, Benny Andersson was already crafting melodies with obsessive care. Born December 16, 1946, in Stockholm's Vasan district, Benny grew up in a household where music was cherished but not a career path. His father, a civil engineer, and his grandfather, a self-taught musician, introduced him to the accordion at age 6. That small instrument unlocked a fascination with harmony and melody that never faded. Benny taught himself piano by ear, reproducing complex tunes after just 1 or 2 listens. By 10, he was performing at family gatherings and school concerts, quietly honing a sensitivity to tone and emotion that would define his career. Early success with the Heap Stars. In 1964, 18-year-old Benny joined the Heap Stars, Sweden's answer to the Beatles. His arrival instantly matured their sound, helping the group top Swedish charts with hits like Sunny Girl and Wedding, songs penned by Benny himself. These early triumphs revealed his gift for memorable melodies and taught him the craft of studio arrangement. Known for his technical understanding and musical intuition, Benny became the band's guiding brain. While others sought attention, he sought understanding of harmonics, structure, and emotional resonance. This period shaped his philosophy that music should be timeless, layered, and emotionally precise, laying the groundwork for his future masterpieces. The meeting that changed everything. A pivotal night in 1966 would alter the course of Benny's life. At a mutual friend's party, he met Björn Ulvaeus, a member of the folk pop group the Hootenanny Singers. Their shared love for harmony and attention to detail sparked an instant creative connection. Over the next years, they collaborated on songs for other Swedish artists while experimenting with style and structure. Benny, the emotionally intuitive composer, and Björn, the clever lyricist, formed a complementary partnership. Their musical bond extended beyond work, eventually merging with 2 female vocalists, Agnetha Fältskog and Anni-Frid Lyngstad, creating a chemistry that would define ABBA both musically and personally. The birth of ABBA initially named Björn and Benny, Agnetha and Anni-Frid. The group's first attempts at Eurovision in 1973 failed. Undeterred, they returned in 1974 with Waterloo, a glam pop anthem that won the contest and propelled them to global fame. Shortly afterward, they simplified their name to ABBA, a concise symbol of unity. Benny's role was far from glamorous. He became the band's sonic architect. He treated each track like a painting, meticulously layering instruments and experimenting with harmonies and synthesizers long before they became mainstream. His obsession with emotional depth and musical precision shaped the enduring appeal of ABBA's music, balancing exuberance with underlying melancholy, crafting the sound of joy and sadness. Benny's genius lay in blending brightness with depth. Songs like Knowing Me, Knowing You and Fernando carried joy on the surface while concealing subtle sorrow. While Agnetha and Anni-Frid captivated audiences and Björn wrote clever, bittersweet lyrics, Benny built the emotional subtext. Studio sessions were exercises in patience and perfectionism, sometimes taking days to perfect a single harmony. He was uninterested in fleeting popularity. He sought timelessness. Each note, chord, and silence mattered. Beneath the sparkling disco and sequins, Benny's hand-shaped melodies that resonated deeply, giving listeners a sense that ABBA's music was both infectious and profoundly human. Success and private strains. Throughout the late 1970s, ABBA's fame was unstoppable, yet the band's internal life began to fracture. In 1979, Björn and Agnetha divorced, introducing a tension the group tried to mask professionally. Benny and Frida's relationship soon followed a similar trajectory. Their personal connection, built on sound and creativity, faced strain under public scrutiny and Benny's perfectionist tendencies. Frida's emotional expressiveness contrasted with Benny's obsessive focus on music, leaving a gap at home. By 1981, Benny admitted feelings for Mona Nerklet, a television producer, which ended his romantic partnership with Frida. These personal upheavals inevitably seeped into their music, adding subtle melancholy to ABBA's final works. The emotional weight of music. The album The Visitors, 1981, reflects this emotional frost. Tracks like When All Is Said and Done and Slipping Through My Fingers conveyed pain that words alone could not capture. Benny's music became a medium to express what he could not say aloud. The band's decline was less about scandal and more about human fragility. Fame never prepared them for the vulnerability of personal loss and heartbreak. Benny channeled silence and fear into harmony, revealing the tension between public perfection and private struggle. His compositions became confessional in disguise, resonating with listeners who sensed the depth of emotions beneath ABBA's seemingly polished, joyous surface. Benny's reflections at 78. Now, at 78, Benny Andersson has begun speaking openly about the emotional cost of his career. Music was his refuge. It allowed him to confront pain indirectly. He once said, "I gave my best lines to songs, not to the people who needed to hear them from me." His honesty reframes ABBA's legacy. The group was never cold or superficial. They were human, fragile, and doing their best to navigate intense fame and private heartache. By sharing his truth, Benny offers closure to decades of speculation, revealing that the brilliance of ABBA's music came hand in hand with deeply personal struggle. Legacy beyond stardom. Benny's work demonstrates that pop music can carry emotional complexity. He built a kingdom of sound where every note mattered, shaping songs that remain timeless. ABBA's enduring popularity reflects the emotional duality he mastered: joy intertwined with sorrow, glitter concealing vulnerability. Benny's story reminds us that the architecture of music often depends on unseen hands, that greatness can thrive quietly behind the scenes. While audiences celebrated sequins and hits, Benny sculpted the emotional depth that gave ABBA its soul. His reflections now enrich our understanding of music, fame, and human fragility. A kingdom of sound and silence. Ultimately, Benny Andersson's journey illustrates the intersection of genius and vulnerability. He created melodies that transcended personal pain, and his honesty now reveals the human heart behind the hits. ABBA's music was never just entertainment, it was survival, a way for four people to process life while entertaining millions. Benny's life teaches that artistry requires courage, not only to create but to confront the emotions behind creation. His legacy is one of empathy, complexity, and quiet brilliance. Through his reflections, we glimpse the emotional architecture of pop history and the man who built it, note by note, chord by chord.